And all that he said had to do with consistency, continuity, and a big vision that could be achieved if there is unity. From him, he handed over to Raji Fashola, from Raji to Ambode. And Ambode now, we have that gentleman that says, I can do the job. That's actually the way to put it. I'll leave it for you to judge when you listen to him. But please welcome this gentleman that simply we call BOS, Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu.
Such a very, very intimidating opening remark. Thank you so very much for having us on your program.
You're welcome, my brother. And of course, closely working with him is a gentleman that we also simply call Kadri Obafemi Hamzat, Dr. Hamzat. You're welcome, Doctor.
Thank you very much for having me too.
You're welcome. My very first question, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Can you tell Nigerians, not just Lagosians now, because the program is all over Nigeria, can you tell Nigerians what makes you feel I can do the job?
We believe that the conversation around taking Lagos, our Lagos, your Lagos, to greater heights, stands with how we have also developed as human beings. Over 30 years ago, when I left university, I've had the real privilege to have worked about 17 years in the private sector and about 13 years, in the public sector. So meaning that both experiences comes to bear today. On the private sector side, I have been treasurers of 3 different banks. I had run the balance sheet of banks. I had helped people to create wealth and to manage wealth, right? So I left the banking industry in 2002 as a general manager. First was to be appointed a special advisor at a very humbly so. Yes. And very quickly, I was in that regime till the end of 2007 and also with BRF up until 2011. So first, I became a special advisor to the deputy governor, then subsequently to the governor. Then I was acting commissioner for economic planning and budget. Then I became commissioner for commerce and industry. We ended Ashiwaju's tenure. In BRF's first time, I was commissioner for establishment, training, and pension. So that put together about 9 years, right? So I left because I felt also we need to also find out what is happening on the private sector side. So I went back into the private sector and I was involved in the privatization, PHN privatization. I was extensively very involved in it. And I also got myself involved in a lot of real estate development, property development, and also civil society and NGOs. I begin to give back to my community in terms of training, mentorship, developing people, but of course still remaining as a quasi-politician even at that. And so in 2016, the current governor, Governor Akim Ambode, also called on me and asked me to come and run the foremost biggest property company in Lagos State, which is the LSDPC, as a managing director, chief executive. So I had the opportunity to have run that office for 2 years, up until September last year, when I emerged, in October as the gubernatorial candidate for APC. So the question you've asked is that, what makes me feel that we can do the job? It's very simple. Not a lot of people will come with that resume, right? I've worked in Niger Delta, I've done a startup company, I've worked in finance, I've run the civil service, the entire civil service, I know the geography of the state very well. We know what the issues are in the state, having worked there at various levels. There's been several policies and programs that have been involved with directly and as a team member. I've had the consultancy board, I've been all throughout members of the state tenders board, right? So from policy initiative to policy execution to also managing the people that are meant to be implementers, I've run the whole gamut. And on the private sector side, I have also worked with the highest that you can imagine, yes, as a general manager in a bank, running the balance sheet, understanding what investment truly really is. How can you bring about positive development, encouraging foreign direct investment, encouraging the private sector to listen to you. First in commerce and industry, where it gives me the opportunity to work with all sorts of manufacturing companies, including development of the Lekki Free Trade Zone. As a staff and training, overseeing the pension, overseeing the civil service, as it were, and budget, taking Lagos budget defending it in the House of Assembly. So all of this combination, I believe, that one is well suited, right, and humbly so, because it's God that has also given this opportunity. That at this point in time, what we require in Lagos is somebody that has the skill, that has the experience, that has the energy to be able to take the 5th largest economy in Africa to a level that becomes an enviable position for all of us to see. And I'm not the only one in this race, right? You've introduced Dr. Hamza.
Yes.
Between the two of us, we've got over 25 years in the public service. He has a PhD, in systems engineering. Haven't finished his first degree in University of Ibadan, right? We poached him. When I say we, because I joined government slightly before him. He had worked in Morgan Stanley, Citibank in New York,
in and out of
Nigeria. And so he came back to Nigeria as the chief technical officer with Orlando before he became the commissioner for science and tech, overseeing all of the development during Ashwaju's tenure of all of the things we're doing on the education side, on the technology, bringing about, our Oracle database. That was something that we couldn't fully implement, at that day, and putting Lagos on a technologically driven environment. He also became commissioner for works and infrastructure. So a position that he oversees, the entire infrastructural issues, of the state. And finally, he also had a unique opportunity to have been a special advisor to the Minister, of Works, Housing, and Power. So look at those resumes
and the combination.
So we're hitting the ground running from day one, and that's what we're about in Lagos. That's the energy that we require, And so we're happy to tell Nigerians, all your teaming viewers that we will be seeing developments as the next to none in Lagos, and that's what we're promising.
Nigerians will be happy to see that
absolutely
materialize. Thank you, Mr. Sanwo-Olu. I'll go to gentleman, your deputy, to tell us a little more about yourself, Dr. Hamzat. Nigerians are watching.
I have a PhD in systems engineering from Cranfield University after having my bachelor's and master's from University of Ibadan. And after that, I went to the United States of America. I've worked with the City of New York, I worked with Citibank, I worked with Merrill Lynch, and I was a vice president of operations, and I also worked with Morgan Stanley, where we believed then that we were the foremost financial system in the world because we have offices in 7 continents. And I headed the team that actually deploys software across the 7th continent from New York. So we have this experience, and I came down to Orlando to become the group head of IT strategy. And we were implementing Oracle in Orlando, and then Lagos State wanted me to come and assist in the completion of that. And I dare say that we were the first state in Africa to do an ERP.
And the very first state in Africa.
And we finished that before the City of New York.
Really?
Yes, Lagos State went live with 11 modules in 2008. The City of New York went live in 2012.
4 years after.
4 years after. And
to know.
It's the success rate of ERP around the world is 10%.
To the layman out there, ERP, what do you
ERP is Enterprise Resource Planning. It gives you an helicopter view of the whole system. So we have modules like account receivable, so that anything that the state government is doing is computerized and can be seen, can be tracked, and can be audited easily. So it's complex. That's my point. It's complex. So for a state, under then Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to have completed such a program on time, on budget, is a major achievement. And that's part of the things that has galvanized the economy of Lagos to where we are today. So we build roads across the state. So that's why we understand the geography. We know Ijagemo, we know Ijedodo, we know all over the place.
And I'm aware Mr. Sanwo-Olu also studied surveying. So you have
the land. Absolutely. And you see why it's important for us. Part of our agenda is we need to do a lot of land reforms. We need to be able to look at how we create investment, wealth out of land, all of our blighted areas. Badia, Ijora, Amukoko, Ilaje, the blighted areas that are like a bit of a slum, Ijora, Badia, So we need to recreate those places. Apart from regeneration, we need to also be able to give value. So from a dead asset, we need to recreate them to a life asset, such that if we come up with a proper land reform process that gives title quicker and faster, we will create asset, value will be created. And once you do that, then you can see investment. You know, as a surveyor trained one initially before I became a finance person, right? Is to sit with our surveyors and see how we quickly come about, you know, a geographical positioning of the place and be able to identify the real owners and give people title. Once you do that, investments will come. Because somebody has said that you have proper title that is domiciled in your name, you have a 30% value already. In our view, you have it, because that's how development happens. And so people can put it together, and an asset that was not doing anything before turn to a positive asset. And that's how we're going to take it in little blocks, right, and begin to develop it. In fact, we want to take it to as high as the audacious one. Was it possible for us to give reference title to even shops?
Really?
So yeah, because people need to unlock their investment. Somebody sits in a 25 square meter shop, right, and they have assets of 2 million naira, right, and you just need a cash flow of 300,000, you know, or 500,000 to replenish or to retool yourself, and you're sitting on something. If you have a title on it, you can actually leverage that. You can go to and say, you see, this is my shop. You see, I have stock, but I just need, because sometimes cash is king. Yeah, right. That's what we're taught. And put it on the table. They see that you are the owner. Give you the money. Once they give you the money, you can do a lot more. You can do a lot, and that's how development happens. That's how investment happens anywhere in the world. And those are the innovations that we'll be bringing, you know, to the table.
To the fore.
Yes.
This takes me to a question that's been burning in my heart. Hear the two of you talk. You seem to belong to the school of thought that says too much emphasis on corruption. Let's develop the economy. I belong to that school of thought that if we develop economy, then the people that are thinking corruption is the way to go, they wouldn't. Our economy has to be fully tapped. Tell me more about that.
Well, I mean, you know, in your head, you need to sort of like unlock a lot of things, right, in your head. What people want, they want transparency. They want you to be able to communicate. They want you to be able to say to them, what are your plans, you know, and transparently see a process that they can verify. And once you do that, right, mistakes can happen. Things can go wrong. But the fact that you have communicated, right, and people see your genuineness going forward, right, even if you need to review a transaction, it won't be from the act that you're a corrupt person, right? It will be from the act of, you know, I told you that these are the things we've seen, but naturally a few things happen, and this is how we take it. Once we begin to see real development that touches the life, we are making sure that your development is the greatest good for the greatest number. You are not myopic. You are not, you know, a governor that is so specific just to a few people. And you are transparent in your development. You spread it around and let value be created. You see people taken out of poverty, the poorest of the poor, people that then issues around. You don't even have a space. We are people that have been content in our life. We've been blessed. God has helped us, right? And this unique opportunity will certainly not let it go by. You know,
so you're telling Nigerians that you seeking this office to add value to the lives of Lagosians.
We're seeking this office to change the life of Lagosians, to bring about positive development, service, not for self, for service, to truly really be able to serve our people genuinely, having the experience God has given us, understanding the terrain that we want to get ourselves into, and being appreciative of what are the collaborative tendencies we need? Who are the people that can help us? The private sectors are the engines of growth. How do we collaborate with them? Both of us have come with contacts that we have. So let's put it on the table and let's hit the ground running from day one.
Thank you, Mr. Sowolu. My next question will go to Dr. Hansard. Having heard all you said, the question that really comes to my mind is, out of your slogan, a greater Lagos is possible. I move around, I see another one. Let's join hands together to evolve a greater Lagos. And this rings so often in my head because our program is a greater Nigeria. So I kept on saying a greater Lagos, dovetailing into a greater Nigeria. How do you intend complementing the efforts of Mr. Sanwo-Olu, if he wins, to achieving a greater Lagos that the two of you have been talking about?
Well, I think it's pretty easy. Those that have listened to us have heard about what we call THEME, which is THEME. the idea is so that we can be responsible to the people and they can actually ask us questions on those 5 pillars. So the T stands for traffic management and transportation.
Yeah.
The H is health and environment. The E is education and technology. M is making Lagos a 21st century economy. And E is entertainment and tourism. 194 kilometers of beachfront in Lagos.
Okay.
You know, there are 2 areas around the world that have the point. It's Florida and Lagos.
Say that again.
So the reality is we need to work a lot more to bring more people to Lagos. And that's why we need to build the roads, because those areas are destination. People must be able to get there. And therefore we'll be able to build those infrastructure that can attract people to all those areas. We have the slave trade channel, we have the point of no return, we have the market, we have the first story building in Nigeria, in Badagry. Yeah. So we are blessed with all these details that we will make sure that at least we have this. And like I said, we have, in Lagos, we have the GIS, Geographic Information, that we've built that allows us to be able to, we've mapped every inch of land in Lagos, every inch. Therefore, like I said, we'll be able to unlock that resource that God has given us, which is our land. It's our land and then our waterfront. So we have the bathymetric chart of all the waters in Lagos, all the creeks. We know the depth. So that we know that if we want to actually channel for water transportation, we know what to do. So, and those are the details of information that we have that, you know, that sort of enhance our possibility of doing all these things that we've promised.
Thank you, Doctor. I would ask Mr. Sonwolu the same question, because you're the visionary.
Yeah, I mean, Nigeria truly really needs to be great. We need to. We can't just lip service like we're the giant of Africa, giant of the sun. We need to, and we need to reflect in all of our spheres of life.
Yes.
And that's why we've said to ourselves, for us to make our Lagos, your Lagos greater, right? A few things need to happen, right? Events need to happen, right? Changes need to happen in something. So that's why we've sat down, haven't done research, not just sitting in our office, right? Haven't done opinion pool, haven't gone around asking questions. What do people want us to do at this point in time that will help them create wealth and do well in all of the things they found themselves? Or even if you don't have the opportunity, what are the things you want government to do for you to have a better life for yourself? And that's why we creatively came up with that team. We creatively came up with, we could have had 20 different things, but we wanted it to be articulate, we wanted it to be something that is measurable, we wanted something that is focused, that people can hold us to. And it's smart. It's something you can count on your fingertips. And it falls out from all of the economic processes we've been doing since 1999. But like, let us target this one strategically and leapfrog it, because if we do, we will only take Lagos forward quicker and faster. So we said traffic management and traffic, like Dr. Hamza rightly said, it's called Project T. We thought of a word that everybody can remember. Everybody can hone.
And the theme is the THEME.
So it's ownership. And haven't done the research, Lagosians, what do you want us to do and solve now, yesterday? Traffic management. So it's traffic management and transportation. On transportation, a lot of things will happen there. Rail, water, road. On the very next one, which is health and environment, a lot of things need to happen there. Let us collaborate with the private sector, the health institute. We've got about 300 and something, primary, secondary, and tertiary. The private sector has about 3,000. Let's join the two together and have an health insurance scheme where health will be accessible, will be affordable. The people that are vulnerable, that cannot pay, government will come in and intervene and do it for them. On the environment side, waste management has become an issue. Let us bring about waste to wealth. How do we clear up the refuse? How do we bring about a clear, clean environment for our people? How do we manage flooding in Lagos? How do we increase water supply? All of them under our environment space, right? Take it on. Education and technology. Femi is an expert in both, having been commissioner for education and for science and tech, and also a technology person. But it's not just we're just reading out this thing. We believe that technology is one of the strongest enabler that we can use to leapfrog our state. Be it in health, we need technology. Be it in education, we need technology. Be it in security, we need technology. Be it in judiciary, we need technology everywhere. Right, and we've seen it. It's the fourth world revolution now, and we need to catch up. And we're going to be heavy on it. But the background of it is to make sure that we're providing quality education for our children, especially for the vulnerable, the poorest of the poor. Internet and all of the things that comes with it shouldn't be a luxury. It should be something that they should have access to. So we're collaborating with all of the telcos and everybody that plays in that place and ensure that we can create a Lagos that looks like a mesh where you can, it's plug and play. Even in our vehicles that are public buses, put free Wi-Fi there. I was started. Even on our campaign trail, we've dotted free Wi-Fi in a few institutions in Lagos and it's working live even as we speak. Right, so we're not just mounting it, we've started implementing. So education and technology, teachers training, in renovations of all the schools that need improvement, collaborating with the private sector, all the private schools, and see how we can regrade them and talk, serious conversations with them. Taking on to the end, which is making Lagos a 21st century. That speaks to the private sector more. And what are the things they require for them to do more business? They want security, they want power, they want housing, and they want infrastructure. Right, so the moment you do that for them, their business will not only blossom, they will take further risk. Taking risk meaning that they will take from their money and do investment. When they do investment, they employ.
Very true.
When they employ, unemployment goes down. So it's a chicken and egg. You have to think through it very well. Power, we're working with the discourse to ensure that we should not lip service this thing. What is the problem? How can we help you? And we've started closing up. We've started identifying what are the gray areas we need to improve upon and bring about power like yesterday to our people. Security, we're wrapping it up again. We've been involved before, let's wrap it up. In terms of restructuring Nigeria, if they give us state police like yesterday, we will lead church, we will take it and we will fund it very well. So those are some of the things we're doing. Infrastructure, Femi have talked about it. Major roads, we need to open them. But that reference is critical. Let's finish it. It's an international road that we need. And a few strategic roads in different areas. And the last E, which is your space. You just talked about extensive on tourism. And so that we also look at sports. If we believe that all of these things, if we put them on the front burner, Lagos will leapfrog to a level. Lagos will leap, because we need to catch up. We need to leapfrog, and we're taking Lagos to a greater height. We're taking Lagos to a level that it will become an envy for everyone, where the poor will do well, their health will be improved, their education will be improved, the businessmen will have access to government, they will have access, ease of doing business, will bring about processes that will make sure that each time they come to any government offices, right, they have a good taste, and all of the time is a better taste that I enjoy. We still had meetings with some arm of the public service yesterday, and we still continue in those conversations to say to them that we've started making commitments on their behalf to ensure that we're in this together. We need to enter the same train and implement all of these things that we're promising the Russians together as public officers. And mind you, we have worked with them. We know them and we know how to speak their language, that they will also be committed. And both of us as partners in the development of Lagos, we can bring about a positive development in the state, so that you probably need to relocate back to
Lagos, not Abuja anymore. We'll call it a day. Thank you for joining us. They've not finished all the plans they got for you and I. They're still going to churn it out. And so make it a day next week when we bring you the concluding part of this exposition. God bless you. I remain your uncle on Motayo Show. Towards a greater Nigeria it is. We've been talking about towards a greater Lagos. Thank you.
This is the network service of the NTA.
The relentless sound of the locomotive, its climb to renewed relevance after years of inexplicable obscurity or deadly silence, is the stuff of legends. To believe the story of the nation's travails in the rail subsector, one is confronted with the hard evidence of rusted iron and stubborn brick, which attest to more than a century of sweat, investment, resistance, hope, and despair. The Nigerian railway system is 115 years old. It was initially utilized as the chief evacuation vehicle for a plundering colonial administration. Soon, the rail system gained traction as an important part of the infrastructure, crucial in welding a young African state together through the social integration, trade, cultural exchange, and religious understanding which mass movement of people fosters, and the well-oiled wheels of the locomotive consistently lubricated in the 40s and 50s. The ensuing decades, however, saw the promising sector slowly and rather astonishingly grind to a repressive halt. The community of the rail shrunk in size, vitality, efficiency, and relevance. This perhaps encapsulates the nation's struggle to rediscover itself after its early promise. The railways, a critical sector in all the great economies of the world, was left to rot by Africa's giant, leaving the giant itself significantly diminished. The effort to re-energize the sleeping giant, the railways, has been on for some years now. However, a new push, a new impetus, and a second wind have been injected by the current administration to ensure a speedy and comprehensive turnaround of the crucial sector. For a growing economy with a large population, transport experts say, this drive is imperative as the rail services are dependable and least affected by weather conditions such as rain and fog. In terms of organization, rail transport is by far the most preferred for mass movement. With fixed routes and schedules, services are more certain, uniform, and regular. And for freight services, rail transport is considered economical, quicker, and best suited for carrying heavy and bulky goods over long distances. And that's in addition to other features, such as wagon and coaches, which give it the flexibility for larger capacity to convey passengers or goods than other modes of transportation. Apart from its affordability, rail transport is the safest form of transportation. Chances of breakdown and accident are minimal. Moreover, the traffic can be protected from exposure to the vagaries of nature. The railways provide greater employment opportunities for both skilled and unskilled labor. It is a veritable avenue to engage the teeming youth during project development and running of services. It is in recognition of these values that the Buhari administration includes as some of its strategic objectives provision of rail transport infrastructure that will support the economic development of the country. The provision of safe, efficient, and cost-effective transport service for Nigeria, making rail service part of the intermodal transport system in order to adequately support other modes of transportation in the country, creating an enabling environment for private sector participation in the provision of rail infrastructure, operations, and maintenance, making rail transport the backbone of land transportation in Nigeria. It is daunting but not unachievable. And as the saying goes, where there is a will, there is a way. The contract with the people is yielding unprecedented dividends on the rail tracks. However, its overall success lies with an eagle-eyed supervisor whose patriotism is matched by an uncompromising doggedness to succeed. This renewed vigor to give the sector the kiss of life it desperately needs can be seen in the completion of the 186-kilometer network of standard gauge rail linking Idu in Abuja to Rigasa in Kaduna.
Clearly demonstrates our commitment to addressing critical infrastructural projects, keeping with the ideals of change agenda to ensure prudence in the management of public resources, value for money, considering the huge investments in this project.
The Abuja-Kaduna Rail project was abandoned by past administrations. The inauguration of the project in 2016 by the present government is a reflection of the character of the leadership. It is a model system that advertises the rail service in the best way possible.
It's good, it's wonderful, it's comfortable and more secure. We are just having it. I hope we are going to improve. Something like getting your tickets sold online, that will improve the services so that you can book your tickets at home and then just come and enter the train when it is about to leave.
The train is quite comfortable, it's secured, and you get everything that you want, and in peace and tranquility, honestly. The government has done well.
Smooth passenger experience, seamless stops, and a picturesque view of Nigeria's rich savanna and agrarian community.
My office was formerly in Abuja, but they later transferred me to Kaduna. With the help of the train, I was able to retain my job. If it's to be going by road, I would have resigned because there's no way I'll be going every day. It's not possible. So it's fantastic. It's fine.
I've been using this for the last 6 months or so. There should be an increase in the first class and second class, because you see now it's filled to capacity and there are passengers left. Although there are 4 shifts, still each shift is full to capacity. There should be an increase in number of coaches. Yes.
I found it really enjoyable to do this service. More enjoyable than the road commuting. We should, as a matter of fact, as a country, develop this. Not just between Kaduna and Abuja. It should be extended to other state capitals, so that you could do a run and introduce more coaches like the sleeper coaches, that you find in other countries.
The Idu Mega Train Station combines aesthetics and retrofitting that make rail transport both pleasurable and environmentally meaningful.
Each set of these trains, we have 6 coaches. 6 coaches in the sense that they are made up of 2 first-class coaches, 4 economy class coaches, and each of the economy class coaches takes 88 passengers sitting. That is the seated capacity of each of the economy class coaches. Then the first class coaches, each of the coach carries 56 passengers.
Honestly, this structure, it has brought a lot of development, most especially in the life of the youth. When you look out there, you see there are a lot of, we have 2 good roads. We have the building, which I believe some of the youth have been engaged there. And also our passengers that are coming, some of the youth used to help them. Some of them have employed them as cleaners, some as securities, which at least it has diverted them from being vulnerable to the society. So with that, I say that this place has brought a great achievement or a development to this particular community.
Train travels have now become a thrill for many Nigerians. So far, the Abuja-Kaduna Rail accounts for more than 1.5 million passengers and counting. The increasing passenger demand means government cannot rest on its oars. It is a call for more hands to the plough. Accordingly, more locomotives and passenger coaches were commissioned for the Abuja-Kaduna Rail early last year. Construction work on the 302-kilometer Itakpe-Warri standard gauge rail line is substantially completed. Conceived 32 years ago, its original intention was to provide access to iron ore for steel development. But the present administration had a much more compelling vision.
under this administration, we resuscitated the contract, so we have to made some arrangement and agreement and some recontract awards back to the China Civil Engineering Consortium company that have now taken over the Itape to Wari rail rehabilitation line, which has been completed. We have already started test run.
So this year you have the solid mineral activities on this belt. But what we are doing now is to ensure there's also commercial passenger activities. The government has approved and we're looking for funds to connect Itape to Abuja.
Today, the rail lines link Itape in Kogi State to Warri in Delta State and connect the north-central and south-south in a unique way. The rail line now offers bumper possibilities for both passengers and freight on a grand scale, while also stimulating economic activities along the corridors on the route.
So far, so good. The work has been progressing very well, and we have a lot of Nigerians that are really learning here. Like all their workers now, they are working and they are learning. This is a huge project. We know how huge a railway project is. So when you're talking about a railway station, we know what we've seen all over the world. We know what we are expecting. So we know what they are gaining here. They are gaining a lot of experience as well.
We are into the system. We do the work ourselves, but they give us the idea and show us what to do, and we embark on that.
A key stop on this route is the ancient town of Abo, a nodal city which straddles Edo and Delta states as a gateway. Here, the station house is up and the tracks are ready for what could become a deluge of human movement, which precipitates a new lease of life for the inhabitants. Train service on this line commenced on November the 26th, 2018.
Everybody knows that railway is one of the easiest ways of moving goods and services on a very large volume to and from rural areas to urban areas and vice versa. We are sure the completion of this rail line will adequately address some economic development of the country. It's passing through Ajaokuta, which is the state of our steel. I think we know that steel development is one of the bedrocks of economic development of any nation. We are sure that this project will go a long way in facilitating the completion of Ajaokuta and ensuring that steel production and development takes place on a very sound footing. Thank you.
What this government has done for us cannot be overemphasized, in the sense that economically and otherwise, they have helped us to, if this thing come to stay, like from Ajaokuta to Warri, that one is being done there. Then we heard that there's one going from Ajaokuta to Abuja. If that one happens, you know what it will be economically. So we are so grateful to the president of this country, Alhaji Muhammadu Buhari, and the Minister for Transport.
Like this kind of rail services, we are seeing it for the first time in this environment. And for now, somebody can travel from here to Abuja and other parts of the country with ease. And two, our people have been employed, at least engage our people in one or two areas for them to have a means of livelihood.
We really want to thank the federal government of Nigeria for what they have brought into the community. We really appreciate it because it's a kind of development that has come in our own time. There are so many persons who have been hearing of this, and we are seeing it in our own time. We really appreciate it, and we thank God for what He has done in our own time.
Even more exciting is the soon-to-be operational 156-kilometer double standard gauge line from Lagos to Ibadan, with extension to the Apapa seaport.
The main purpose of this project is to convert most of the imported cargoes from port through the rail track northward to Abeokuta to Ibadan at this stage, then in future up to the Kano and even northward to Katsina.
Since the groundbreaking in 2017, performed by Vice President Yemi Oshibajo, work on this project has kept the pace.
What we embarked on the first is that we have decided that we are going to upgrade and refurbish the 3,500 kilometers narrow-gauge railway. And at the same time, we are now, for the first time in the country, also introducing the standard gauge.
We are told them that they must complete by 2018, not more than January 2019. But we are meeting challenges and we observe those challenges. We are still sticking to 2018 or 2019 January. We are still sticking to it, but the reality is that we are meeting the challenges of utilities on the right of way, especially in the area of Lagos, heading towards the Apapa seaport.
When completed, the service has the potential of boosting economic activities in Nigeria within the southwest and beyond, as Lagos and Ibadan remain two of Nigeria's biggest commercial centers.
Am I impressed? 50-50. What I mean by 50-50 is that I expect, and I've told them, that there must be a train on the track that makes sense. And what I mean makes sense, that makes transport sense, that should be able to convey passengers up to Abuja, if not up to Ibadan. And we've agreed that everybody must work towards it, so we're working towards it.
Doing Kaduna Abuja has opened the eyes of the people that matter, those in government, and they know that it is possible. As a result, we are having tremendous support in extending the rail infrastructure all over the country.
Government is on the verge of signing the co-financing loan agreement to kick off the project of the outstanding portion of Lagos-Kano rail line. Beyond the picturesque allure which rail transport offers, the operational rail lines have so far provided both skilled and unskilled job opportunities for many Nigerians and invaluable spin-offs in economic gains.
It has made a lot of impact to the youth in terms of employment, because when this line came up, the government needs to improve the staff strength of this organization by employing more youth, graduates, and the lower cadre. So it's create more employment for the youth, and it's also create employment unofficially, like people selling at the Regiasa station. You can see people selling at Idu station.
Kamar yadda kuke gani, sakamakon wannan train station din nan, mun samu ayyuka da dama. Yanzu sakamakon wannan abun mun samu masu sai da nama, masu POS, masu sai da plus, masu sai da turare da kaftani ana sai da a wannan wuri. Kuma har da iyayenmu wanda suke sai da goro da makamancin haka. Kuma alhamdulillah inda abun da zai baka mamaki, mutane suka zo abin da suke zargi a riga sai su ga ba haka bane. Muna da peace, wato zaman lafiya da kwanciyar hankali a wannan wuri. Dalilin haka mutane ma in suka zo ce ba za su yi abu sun zo Kaduna a wannan wuri na Rigasa train station. In kana so ka sai riga ko kuma a'a za ka sai turare ko kuma a'a za ka sai abinci, sai mu ce bari sai ya sauka a cikin garin Rigasa, zai zo na akwai restaurant na cin abinci ci abinci. In mati kake bukata muna da shi. Sakamakon train station din muna da mutane wanda suka kai mutum 70 ko 50 wanda suka samu wani aiki a wannan wuri, kuma ba wai staff bane na wurin, a'a yan kasuwa ne. Mun samu wanda suke car drop, mun samu wanda suke sai da kayayyaki masarufi kala daban-daban. Alhamdulillah sai dai mu Allah godiya da wannan abu dama da aka bamu.
Government is on the verge of signing the agreement with a consortium of companies on the concession of the narrow gauge railway. In March this year, Transnet is expected to take over the project. Under the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, ERGP's Public-Private Partnership Infrastructure Development Model, the Buhari administration has also undertaken critical but very ambitious railway projects. The 284-kilometer Kano-Katsina-Maradi in Niger Republic is one of them. This route traverses Kano, Kazaure, Daura, Katsina to Jibia and Maradi in Niger Republic. The idea is to link the Lagos-Kano rail down to the borders and take advantage of freight of goods and services from the seaport and promote inter-regional connectivity with ECOWAS member states.
We find it very promising to have this link, considering the fact that most of the countries in the West African region are in hinterland. They don't have direct link to the port. To promote Nigerian trade and industry, as well as link up with the countries in hinterland, is very, very important to the economic growth of Nigeria and for those countries.
The Eastern Corridor comprises the 2,163-kilometer Port Harcourt-Maiduguri standard gauge rail line. This is a single-track standard gauge rail line which dissects three major geopolitical zones of the country. The rail line traverses major states like Enugu, Imo, Anambra, Ebonyi, Nasarawa, Benue, Plateau, Bauchi, Gombe, Adamawa, Yobe, and Borno states. Plans are also on top gear to commence work on the Bonny Deep Seaport with a capacity for 100,000 deadweight tons, an industrial park project in Port Harcourt with the purpose of transshipment. The Buhari administration is also stepping up efforts to get the coastal railway project on track. From the outset, funding of the project appeared to be a major stumbling block, but steady progress is being made to court partners and co-financiers for the renegotiated coastal rail project. Critical to the seamless management and growth of the sector is the assurance of a consistent supply locally of skilled labor and competencies in modern technologies in the rail sector. This is the wisdom driving the conception of a University of Transportation. The university is a response to the demands for local capacity building for railway and transport sectors, ensuring effective knowledge transfer and eventually localizing manufacturing processes for the sector through reverse engineering and innovation.
For the Transportation University, one of the major focus is for railway, and it will allow us in Nigeria to have local institutions that can produce the necessary expertise, professionals in this peculiar special field. The university will produce graduates in railway, transport, logistics, marine, transportation.
The successful journey from one destination to another is a combination of many factors, among them planning, purpose, will, determination, dexterity, and know-how. The current administration under Muhammadu Buhari's watch and Rotimi Amechi's stewardship has a steady hand on the locomotive to development. It has charted its course with a positive destination in mind.
NTA, you can't beat the rich. Imagine a station where you access information. Think of a station that creates awareness for national development. Imagine a station that prepares you for a bright and greater future. A station for all ages. Documentaries, classroom and television, events coverage, children's programs and variety shows. Always stay tuned to NTA Knowledge on the StarTimes platform, channel 359. For partnership, sponsorship and advert placements, contact us on NTA Knowledge. NTA Knowledge, learning to broaden horizon.
Issues in the sports sector remain one of the most debated among Nigerians due to the passion, followership, government involvement, impact on Nigeria's external image and our national life in the sports parliament. The NTA offers Nigerians deep views on issues with experts in the sports sector, offering in-depth analysis, hindsight, insight and foresight towards elevating Nigerian sports to the zenith on the floor of the sports parliament. Sports Parliament, a unique platform for sports discussions, showing live on the NTA. Keep a date with the parliamentarians.
Your eyes have it.
I see the wisdom in your eyes, Mama, and I feel the courage in your heart. You carry strength in your walk, Papa, and compassion in your touch. I see the love in your smile, my sister, and I hear the truth when you talk. You are a winner with your brain, my brother, and a healer with your soul. I see the future in your hands, Niger, when you register and vote. We get power inside us, my friend, but not be power for our fists. This is not power of how to use our head and come together. So stand up. Make we not sit down and look. To Baba say so.
No sit down look.
No sit down look.
No sit down look.
Make una no sit down look oh. Part of our campaign promise was fighting corruption.
APC presidential rally hits Ekiti and Ondo states. Monarchs endorse the re-election bid of President Muhammadu Buhari.
We must not allow desperate politicians to crush our democracy on the altar of their personal and sometimes inordinate ambition.
Federal government uncovers schemes by the opposition to discredit the 2019 polls.
In defending and promoting the cause of Nigerian workers, our focus is to build workers' power.
Federal government to partner labor on implementation of welfare schemes as the NLC prepares to elect new executives. Hello and welcome to the news at 9 on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. I'm Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. Michael Olale joins me tonight from our Lagos Network Center. The APC presidential rally has continued in Ado-Ekiti, the Ekiti state capital, as well as Akure in Ondo State, with a promise to execute more projects which will directly impact lives of the people and develop the country. Political correspondent Saliu Abdullahi monitored the rallies and now reports.
The APC presidential rally provides another opportunity for the elders and leaders in the Southwest to unanimously speak with the people and seek for their support for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari. 94-years-old Ayo Fasomi, who is the leader of the Yoruba Shushu cultural group Afenifere, and APC national leader Bola Ahmed Tinubu, took pride to give reasons why the people need to key into the struggle to consolidate on the Buhari's administration beyond 2019.
Continue to stand firm like an anvil
under the stroke. It's not life that matters, but the courage you bring into it. By the grace of God, we shall be rejoicing they have been voted into office for the second term. I want to thank God in particular for the accident, and we have a vice president who is here today.
You must remember, for your vote to count, you must go there early. All of you, the youths, you must go and vote your future.
President Muhammadu Buhari assured the people that his government is conscious of all the promises in economy, security, agriculture, and that in the next level of his administration, if given the mandate, will build on the foundation laid to develop infrastructure with an extension of a rail line to Ekiti State.
The Vice President is here, has told you in detail what we are doing, especially that affects your state. I assure you, the Minister of Transportation said, Amechi, because he's in charge, he told you what we are doing about the railways from Lagos to Kano through the states along the line. We have done quite well in security.
Mr. President, it is to your credit, as you have often emphasized, that today life is returning to those who are farming various kinds of foodstuff, because once you prohibit importation, the Nigerian local farmers respond.
From all our towns union, from all the ordinary people, is that we will be further rewarded with multiple votes February 16 and March 2nd, 2019.
We welcome you into the APC.
Defectors, including former Deputy Governor of Ekiti State, Abiodun Aluko, and some members of the Ekiti State House of Assembly, were formally received into the APC fold. The APC presidential campaign train, in continuation of its campaigns in the southwest, was in Akure, the Ondo state capital, where the people are assured of proper management of the nation's resources for the benefit of all under President Muhammadu Buhari, if given another opportunity to govern. APC stalwarts, including the Vice President Yemi Oshibanjo, say government social intervention programs will be expanded to accommodate more beneficiaries.
On the development of our country, we will never fail. We believe in you, Muhammadu Buhari.
President Buhari has come back and said, no, we must learn to produce what we eat and eat what we produce. We should stop exporting jobs to Europe and importing unemployment into Nigeria.
President Muhammadu Buhari says a vote for him is a vote for all-round development and good service delivery.
The most difficult part of our campaign promise was fighting corruption. Corruption was developed into a culture in this country. We are building your infrastructure. You have been told us the roads, the rail, and what we are doing in educational institutions about feeding, and what we are doing about encouraging small farmers, which the Vice President is in charge himself.
APC received defectors, including some serving members of the House of Representatives. Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Ekiti State Council of Obas has formally endorsed the re-election bid of President Muhammadu Buhari, saying the entire people of the state are proud to be associated with his vision and mission for a prosperous Nigeria. Chairman of the council and Oloye of Oye Ekiti, Oba Oduwode Ademolaju, announced this when President Muhammadu Buhari, accompanied by Vice President Yemi Oshibanjo, paid homage on the monarchs. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the president was also hailed by the paramount rulers in Ondo State.
The people of the Fountain of Knowledge, as the state is known, are still basking in the euphoria of the return of Kayode Fayemi to power towards restoring Ekiti values. The jinx of the 4-year developmental stagnation in Ekiti, they say, has since been broken, and the state is now moving with Nigeria to the next level. For allowing their worthy son to return home on this rescue mission, as well as the enhanced federal presence in the state, the people of Ekiti could not help appreciating the president. And this was remarkably demonstrated when the Nigerian leader, accompanied by members of the APC presidential campaign team, paid homage on the royal fathers. The Oloye of Oyo Ekiti, Oba Oluwole Ademalaju, who is the chairman of the council, had his speech read by one of the monarchs.
Your success is our success. We therefore wish to assure you of the full support and loyalty of the entire people of Ekiti State in the arduous task of taking Nigeria to the next level.
Ekiti has witnessed a new dawn. Free and compulsory education has returned to Ekiti State. Regular salary, which is your passion, has returned to Ekiti State. And we have also started clearing the arrears. If we are already enjoying a little bit of what the consolidation of the change agenda would mean, then we have no reason in Ekiti State not to give you overwhelming support.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who thanked the monarchs and the people of Ekiti for the endorsement, expressed delight that Governor Fayemi is living up to expectations in meeting genuine public aspirations. The APC government, he said, is not only on course but remain resolute in the implementation of its 3-point agenda until the country is fully secured, corruption diminished, and the economy robustly diversified for a sustainable future.
On rice alone, you can see how much savings we made in hard currency. We don't give anybody any license now to import rice. I assure you that we are maintaining focus. We are going to continue to do our best to secure the country, manage it properly, including being very accountable.
A similar demonstration of support, appreciation, and goodwill for President Muhammadu Buhari was rekindled in Ondo, the Sunshine State. Ondo is one of the few states rescued from the opposition through the Broom Revolution in the southwest, and the people who have never regretted turn out in their numbers to show appreciation to the president. At an interactive session with members of the Ondo State Council of Obas, the chairman and Olukare of Ikare, Oba Akadri Salihu Momo, commended the Buhari administration for touching very many lives through the social investment programs, as well as placing Nigeria on the path to genuine prosperity.
During the past 3.5 years, we note the tremendous achievement of this administration, particularly in the Southwest zone.
These are kids that believe in you. You can see them in their numbers, over 130 a year. Not only to listen to you, sir, to show that they are committed to the cause of APC and that they are going to support Mr. President.
President Muhammadu Buhari appreciated the people for keeping faith with the APC, which he promised will never let them down, while noting the various requests made by the monarch, said everything necessary will be done towards helping Ondo State fully realize its potentials for greatness.
Thank you very much for supporting us and supporting our great party. We are interested in leaving a legacy of performance.
25 states have so far been visited by the APC presidential campaign train in the vote-seeking enterprise, and the show of support and goodwill was so far remarkably overwhelming. Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
The federal government says it has uncovered plots by the opposition to connive with some Western lobbies to advance the idea that President Muhammadu Buhari's administration has perfected plans to rig the forthcoming general elections. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed announced this at a media briefing in Abuja. Anthony Folson reports.
They are sending a delegation to some Western capitals, including London, Brussels, and Washington.
The Information and Culture Minister, Lai Mohammed, explained that the opposition, in some intelligence information available to government, have dispatched a 10-man delegation to carry out the mission. The opposition, he said, is bent on improvising every means to ensure it discredits the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration.
We call on all Nigerians to be vigilant as we begin the final countdown to the election. Eternal vigilance, as they say, is the price of liberty. We must not allow desperate politicians to crush our democracy on the altar of their personal and sometimes inordinate ambition.
Reaffirming President Muhammadu Buhari's commitment to a free, fair, credible and peaceful polls, Lai Mohammed said it is heartwarming that there are international and local observers who have been mobilized to monitor the elections.
They have targeted for attack the two key institutions that are most critical to the success of the election. These are the Independent National Electoral Commission and the police. They have used every malleable and malicious personality to make wide allegations against INEC. Their strategy is simple: discredit the election even before it is held, and continue during and after the polls with a view to convincing the Western world in particular, which they believe they have won to their side, using lobbyist-propelled propaganda that the election is not credible.
The minister noted that the antics of the opposition will be fully resisted as their mission is to scuttle the polls and push the nation into a constitutional crisis. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Still on the 2019 general elections, President Muhammadu Buhari has reiterated the need for politicians to play by the rules of the game. This was when the president met with some members of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in the House of Representatives, as well as aspirants under the party at a dinner organized by the APC Presidential Campaign Council. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
President Muhammadu Buhari said while it was important to work towards the success of the party in the coming elections, the interests of Nigerians must be uppermost in their minds and in whatever they do. Some of the members described the meeting as encouraging.
For me, this is like a family meeting that we discuss some of the shortcomings, some of the challenges ahead. And I also look at this like a kind of trying to do the right thing at the right time.
With the goodwill that he has with the populace and also the goodwill we have with our own constituents. So it's not all about money, it's all about ideology. And the fact that the APC has the ideology to carry the people along, and not only the rich people, but the people that need all the support that they need in a true democratic dispensation.
Reassuring, this gathering has reinvigorated all of us to go back and do more and do better, and like I said, to make sure that we deliver. There's no room for failure.
And we demonstrated our capacity, we demonstrated our differences between the past and now.
Excited and looking forward to a very good outcome February 16th and March 2nd, whereby we would have an overwhelming victory at the polls, inshallah.
It would be recalled that President Muhammadu Buhari had earlier held similar meeting with serving All Progressive Congress members in the Senate and aspirants. From the banquet hall of the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Governor Muhammad Umar Jibrila has concluded the APC campaign rally for Adamawa Central in Hong local government area. He advised the electorate to massively vote for President Muhammadu Buhari and all APC candidates in the forthcoming general elections for better days ahead. Rayyan Ubala reports.
The people of Hong turned out en masse in solidarity and support to all APC candidates as the campaign train hits the area to round off its rally for the Adamawa Central. Governor Muhammad Umar Jibrila called on them to vote for President Muhammadu Buhari on February 16 election for more security, economic growth and provision of critical infrastructures. He promised to construct the Hong-Gaya Road for improved socio-economic activities in the area. While in Yola North, the governor pledged to construct 2 flyovers at the police roundabout and Bekaji roundabout, befitting the status of the state capital if re-elected.
wannan shine capital dole ne mu gera ta mu mayar da ita fiye da Abuja.
Secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, also told the gathering that they will not regret re-electing President Muhammadu Buhari because of more result-oriented projects and policies to be implemented.
Daga kan President Muhammadu Buhari har zuwa kasa mu yi sak a APC.
The APC campaign rally was at Yola South, Gire, Song, Gombe and Fufare local government areas to canvass votes for all the APC candidates. In Yola, Royanu Bala, NTA News.
Former Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is in Abuja ahead of the 2019 general elections. Dennis Adegunoye gives us an update on a briefing she had with the media shortly after her arrival.
Well, ahead of the fast-approaching 2019 general elections, the former Liberian President, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, will be in the role of head of the ECOWAS observer mission of the polls. She arrived just a few moments ago here at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport and briefed newsmen as to what the itinerary will be ahead of the polls come February the 16th and March the 2nd. She is expected to engage key players in the forthcoming polls. Here's what she had to say.
I hope to meet with political leaders. I want to be able to just understand the role I have to play to make sure that I'm well prepared to carry out the function. I'm pleased that it's an ECOWAS assignment and I'll be working with them and they will guide me. And I just expect that I would join all Nigerians in ensuring that this whole process is so peaceful and successful. And that's the whole purpose of my mission, to be a part of that.
Well, the former Liberian president speaking there on what she expects to unfold in the next couple of days, which is how long she will be here. And I will brief you and keep you updated as events unfold over the next couple of days. It's back to you in the studio.
We have more on politics when we return. Don't go away.
Next. Lagbaja. Omo Baba Muko.
Na Baba be that.
How do I know you are not an impostor? Oh yeah, play me something.
Abba, my band members are all over the world. Let me connect with them on Glow 4G and make some great music for you. Who's on Glow here?
I got Glow. Well, I've got Glow too.
I go show you.
Hello, sir.
Aleki, Gogo, Jide, guitar. Uzo, give me conga. Ahmed, keyboard. 1, 2, 3.
No matter where you are in the world, rest assured, Glow has you covered. Glow Oga SIM, the unrivaled big boss of data. Upgrade to a 4G SIM for free and get 125% bonus. Also enjoy 25% data bonus on all auto renewals. Dial *777# to choose a plan.
My people, we are getting better, we are going higher. Today points to the future and the next level. We are better and moving forward. Everything go to the next level. Everything go decline to the next level. Good jobs don't come to the next level. Our road don't come to the next level. People money come to the next level. Trader money come to the next level. Tailor money come to the next level. Every our money come to the next level.
We have done more with less in infrastructural developments. Roads, railways, major bridges, schools, energy and power, air and seaports, welfare of serving and retired personnel, both civilian and military.
The Abuja Geographic Information Systems, AGIS, wishes to call on all plot allottees, property owners, as well as beneficiaries of the sale of federal government houses in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, to come forward and settle their outstanding ground rents and bills, latest 28 February 2019. All allottees and beneficiaries who fail to clear their bills within the stipulated period will attract the necessary penalties for default, which may include the revocation of such titles as contained in the extant laws. For further inquiries, please contact the Information and Customer Service Division, Aegis, number 4, Peace Drive, Central Business District, Abuja. Telephone 0809 015 4777 or 0805 071 5299. Email info@aegis.fcta.gov.ng. Website www.aegis.fcta.gov.ng. Management Announcer.
Life evolves. You should too. 3G is great. 4G is better. Buy an Airtel SIM to enjoy double data on Nigeria's widest 4G network.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
On behalf of the government and people of Nasarawa State, His Excellency Governor Umaru Tanko Al-Makura, the leadership and members of our party welcome His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, national leadership of the APC Campaign Council, and team and supporters to the presidential campaign rally in Nasarawa State. Date Wednesday, 6th of February 2019. Venue Lafayette City Square. Time 10 a.m. prompt. We in Nasarawa State celebrate our dear President Muhammadu Buhari and many years of consistent hard work in the areas of security, peaceful coexistence, fight against corruption, and landmark projects all across the sectors of the economy. On the basis, our support for your re-election is a dawn deal to continue to serve our great country. Mr. President, you are welcome to Nasarawa State, your second home. Announcer, Organizing Committee.
The Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Chief Audu Ube, the Honorable Minister of State, Senator Henekin Lububiri, and the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Mohammed Bello Umar Tambuwal, could embark on nationwide official commissioning of some completed projects across the 6 geopolitical zones under the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, scheduled as follows. Permanent Secretary, Announcer.
I am fully persuaded that Nigeria needs a man who is credible. I am Chris Okotie. Dependable and trustworthy.
I am Chris Okotie.
I am Chris Okotie.
My mandate, therefore, will be to set up government which have christened Government of National Reconciliation and Reconstruction as the mechanical instrumentality for the crystallization of the new Nigeria of our dreams. It's time to love Nigeria. It's time to fix Nigeria. I'm Reverend Chris Okotie.
It's time to fix Nigeria. If you love Nigeria, say, uh-huh, uh-huh.
The head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Winifred Ekanem Oyoita, will present the scorecard of the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation for 2018. Date, 7th February 2019. Venue, Obasanjo Hall, Block A, 2nd floor, Federal Secretariat. Time, 9 a.m. The Public Service Quarterly Lecture. Theme, the cardinal role of the public servant in governance. Keynote lecture will be delivered by Professor Oladapo Afolabi, Chairman, Alhaji Mahmoud Yayali Ahmed. Date, 7th February 2019. Venue, National Universities Commission Auditorium, Maitama, Abuja. Time, 12 noon. The head of the Civil Service Epic Award Ceremony and Dinner. Date, 7th February 2019. Venue, State House Banquet Hall, Abuja. Time, 7 p.m. Danyang Dajan Peter, Announcer.
Thank you for remaining with the network service. As wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari scales up campaign to canvass for the re-election of her husband, 7 and aspiring members of the House of Representatives under the banner of the All Progressives Congress from Kano State have keyed into the campaign train, promising door-to-door mobilization of voters in favor of President Muhammadu Buhari to enable him move the country to the next level. Abdullah Mustafa reports.
Since the commencement of electioneering campaigns for the upcoming general elections, the political arena of Kano has been busy with activities. APC stakeholders have been going around the state to canvass support for President Muhammadu Buhari's re-election, citing the numerous achievements of the APC-led federal government. APC! Another move is the door-to-door campaign flagged off on behalf of the wife of the President, Aisha Buhari, by Special Assistant on Administration in our office, Hadi Uba.
It is targeted actually to get the promised 5 million voters for Mr. President.
In attendance are serving and aspiring members of the House of Representatives under the APC who assured of their total support.
All the 24 federal constituencies in Kano State are represented, and they are beneficiaries of Her Excellency Mrs. Aisha Buhari's door-to-door campaign.
I have to congratulate and thank Her Excellency, the wife of the President, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, for standing very firm with our husband and our father and the leader of the nation, General Muhammadu Buhari, to ensure his re-election for the second time in office.
The door-to-door campaign initiative is part of strategies by the All Progressives Congress to ensure the party's victory in the upcoming elections. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
Still on politics, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, says addressing security challenges and construction of the Mambila hydropower station in Taraba State will be among his top priorities if elected as president. He stated this at a campaign rally in Jalingo, Taraba State. Joseph Olsen reports.
Presidential candidate of PDP, Atiku Abubakar, pinpoints security as his #1 priority in Taraba State, adding that the state is so endowed with natural resources that his administration will explore to make life better.
I commit to you and I promise you we will address the issue of insecurity in Taraba, in Northeast, and Nigeria in general.
Taraba State Governor Darius Ishaku and State Chairman of the party, Victor Balakona, emphasized the turnout of the people en masse is a demonstration of love for the People's Democratic Party, which has existed since the return of democracy in 1999. National Chairman of PDP, Uche Secondos, is hopeful that the party will come out victorious through free, fair and credible elections. The event culminated with acceptance of some persons who decamped from other political parties to the People's Democratic Party and handing over the flag to the state governor, Darius Ishaku. In Jalingo, Joseph Sound Utsen, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress, APC, has advised the People's Democratic Party to concentrate on resuscitating its floundering campaign, which has seen majority of its governors tacitly and openly avoid supporting the presidential bid of the PDP candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. A statement by the National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Lanre Isa Onilu, says the PDP must understand that all registered political parties are equal stakeholders in the coming elections. In this regard, the APC described as tired narrative that the entire election process is skewed against the party, which is an admittance of the defeat by PDP. The APC noted that discrediting state institutions in the eyes of Nigerians and the international community is unhealthy for the electoral process and a threat to democracy. The statement adds that the era of sham politics are gone, and the APC will ensure the wishes of the electorate prevails in all elections by making sure that elections are free, peaceful, and credible. The appeal court sitting in Sokoto has struck out an application filed by the PDP and its members in Zamfara State, seeking to be joined as parties to the suit challenging the ruling of the lower court in Zamfara State, delisting the APC candidates from the 2019 general elections. Sheikh Muhammad Datti has details.
People's Democratic Party and its members in Zamfara State wanted to be joined as a party in an appeal filed by Aminu Jaji, APC aspirant, challenging the decision of Zamfara State High Court. PDP Council Anone Usman moved a motion of adjournment to enable him to prepare and moved a motion to be joined as a party to the appeal, which was unanimously opposed by other councils. Presiding Judge Ahmed Olarewaju Belgore ordered the council to move the motion for joinder of PDP in the appeal, but the council opted for withdrawal of the application. However, all councils to the other defendants opposed the motion and sought for payment of cost by the PDP council. Justice Belgore announced that the application has been struck out with no cost. Counsel to the APC aspirants, Jacob Ochidi, and that of other respondents speak.
So what is pending before the court now are two appeals to be heard by the Court for Appeal.
Knowing that if he proceeded, the obvious fate of that application is that it's going to be dismissed. So he took a safer path by withdrawing the application.
Efforts to get the PDP councillor Anone Usman proved abortive as he declined to comment. In Sokoto, Show Muhammad Dati, NTA News.
Back in Abuja, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says his attention has been drawn to the allegation by the Conference of Nigeria Political Parties, CNPP, Kwara State Chapter, claiming that the federal government is planning to clamp down on the opposition parties in the state ahead of the forthcoming general elections. The minister stated this in Abuja. Anthony Forson reports.
This allegation by the shadowy CNPP is a panic reaction to my consistent call on the security agencies to rid Kwara State of all known thugs and other criminals. Kwarans have nothing to be afraid of, as the security agencies have assured that they will provide the enabling peaceful environment for voters to exercise their franchise. We therefore call on all the good people of Kwara State to disregard the orchestrated hysteria by the so-called CNPP, which is nothing but the face of the drowning dynasty that has held Kwara State by the jugular for years.
We apologize for the loss of audio in some part of that video clip. That was Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed. The Nigerian Union of Journalists, or the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, I beg your pardon, NOLGE, has endorsed the re-election bid of President Muhammadu Buhari. National President of NOLGE, Ibrahim Khalil, announced this in Abuja at a strategic meeting between the executive of the APC Women and Youth Presidential Campaign Council and 36 state chairmen of NOLGE. Political correspondent Salihu Abdullahi reports.
With millions of members in the 774 local governments across the country, the leadership of NOLGE believes in the policies of the Buhari administration towards addressing the decay in the local government system as an essential tier of government that is nearer to the people.
We are all out in support of his re-election on the understanding that when he comes back, this dream will be actualized.
Chairman Central Working Committee of the APC Women and Youth Presidential Campaign Council, Mohammed Buba Marwa, enumerated the achievements of the Buhari administration to include improving the welfare of Nigerian workers across the 3 tiers of government.
So it's a great opportunity for Nigeria to have a leader such as this who says it and accomplishes it and doesn't steal the money. For the endorsement, and wish to assure you that the responsibility that comes with it, I know the President will live up to the billing.
In another development, the APC Presidential Support Committee has urged its national and zonal officials to brace up its grassroots voter mobilization for the success of the APC in the forthcoming elections. This was at the official flag-off of the North Central Zonal Executives held in Abuja.
It is
a sacrificial work they do deliver the zone to APC.
It's all about bringing all our executive discourse in the North Central Zone together so that they will work as a team.
The zonal executives have assured victory for the APC as they promise to encourage APC supporters to vote and protect their votes. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
To take Nigeria to the next level, women and youths have been urged to make their votes count by voting President Muhammadu Buhari in the forthcoming polls. Wife of the president, Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, who was represented by the wife of the vice president, Dolapo Oshibajo, stated this at the APC South-South Women and Youths Presidential Campaign in Port Harcourt.
This government is interested in the youth. That is why they are feeding the children in the schools with the homegrown school feeding program. This government is interested in the youth. That is why they have the Empower program that is employing the youth. Her Excellency has asked me to ask you that on the day of elections, that nobody should be sleeping at home. That on the day of elections, all of us should go happily to vote APC.
Party stalwarts and supporters said the federal government is working for the people and the entire nation, as this is evident in the implementation of different policies and programs by the Buhari administration, hence the need for its re-election. Wife of the president, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has again advised Nigerian youths not to allow themselves to be used as political thugs by desperate politicians to achieve their personal gains before, during, and after the February general elections. Mrs. Buhari stated this in a message at the palace of Esu of Kwali, Sha'ban Audu Nizazo III, when the Women and Youth Presidential Campaign team paid a visit to the area in their effort of canvassing support for President Muhammadu Buhari. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
In furtherance of their nationwide campaign in canvassing support for the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari and other candidates of the All Progressives Congress in the forthcoming elections, the Women and Youth Presidential Campaign team has visited Kwali Area Council. They paid a visit to the palace of Etu of Kwali and the Chairman Council of Chiefs of the area, Sha'ban Audu Nizazo III. Presenting the message of the wife of the president, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, to Etu and the entire people of the area, the Senior Special Assistant to the President, Dr. Hajosani, expressed appreciation for the support of the people towards the successes of this administration and solicit for more and the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari for the second term to consolidate on the achievements recorded within the first tenure of his administration. She reiterated Mrs. Buhari's commitment of strengthening her efforts towards supporting women and youth in realizing their full potentials. She said, the improvement of the welfare of women and youth is one of the priorities of this administration, as demonstrated through various programs such as Trader Money and Empower.
We believe it's through their prayers, their support and commitment that made it possible for General Muhammadu Buhari to be elected for the last almost 4 years now. And now we are here again for the second time, soliciting for his support, as usual, for his re-election bid for Buhari and Oshibanjo.
The most important thing and message he gave us to give the women is to make sure they come out and vote, because everybody's vote counts. No matter how much you love President Buhari or you love his wife, you don't make sense if you don't come out to vote for him. And the moment you come out to vote for him, that is your strength. That is your weapon, and it's your strength.
That you of Kwali reassured the wife of the president of the full support of his people for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari. In Abuja, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
When I join Michael in Lagos for details of the Nigerian Broadcasting Commission's Political Broadcast Workshop. Hello, Michael. Over to you.
And
a warm welcome to Lagos. The National Broadcasting Commission Day 2 training program ends in Lagos with a charge to broadcast media organization to be guided by the NBC codes on political broadcast. Ruth Areyo Samuel reports that participants said the training has exposed and equipped them for the political process.
The journalist has a major role in sustaining and fostering democracy. Thus, at all times, journalists and media organizations should strive for balance, professionalism, objectivity, and shun any form of hate speech or things that will heat up the polity.
It's important, for the journalists to be very careful, to be professional. It's not everything, that goes into content that will go to the audience.
Broadcast media generally ought to serve the public, but the public service angle of it is going down. What is there now is making money.
The NBC, as a regulatory body, will do all within its powers to ensure media practitioners carry out their duties within the ambit of the broadcast laws.
Our determination is to ensure that broadcasters do what is professional, what is largely in the national interest, what will promote national cohesion, good governance and unity of the country.
Try as much as possible to ensure that you're getting the right information before you pass it on.
The two-day workshop on media coverage using 2015 elections as a case study with theme, challenges, regulatory framework, and the way forward for a credible 2019 elections had participants from media organizations across the country. In Lagos, Ruth Areyo Samuel, NTA News.
The suit filed by the senator representing Ogun East, Senator Buruji Kashamu, was told at the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos due to improper service by Kashamu's lawyer on the other parties. Vera Chumba reports that the trial of former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fauci, over the alleged fraud of 6.9 billion naira is also continuing.
The senator representing Ogun East Senatorial District at the National Assembly, Buruji Kashamu, is seeking an order of perpetual injunction restraining the Inspector General of Police, Department of State Security, and the Attorney General of the Federation from arresting or detaining him in any matter whatsoever and interfering with his personal liberty and freedom of movement. However, NDLA, in its preliminary objection, had urged the court to dismiss Kashamu's suit for being incompetent and abuse of court process as he's failed to disclose any infringement of his rights. Counsel to NDLA, Bajela, urged the court to dismiss Kashamu's suit. He informed the court that Kashamu's lawyer has complied with the court directive on serving hearing notice. However, the hearing notice meant for Attorney General of the Federation was wrongly served on DSS, and it explained non-representation of AGF in court. Justice Chukwujeku Aneke ordered that hearing notice be issued and served on the Attorney General of the Federation. Further hearing has been fixed for the 8th of March. The cross-examination of the former Minister of State Defense, Senator Musli Obanikoro, continued at the Federal High Court before Justice Mojisola Oloteregu. Obanikoro told the court that he was surprised that 1.3 billion naira meant for national security is under probe. Hearing continues tomorrow. In Lagos, Viera Chumuba, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. More reports are ahead after this timeout. Please stay with us.
The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has directed all distribution companies in the country to conduct customer enumeration in their respective franchise areas and to complete the exercise by the 31st of March 2019. The Commission hereby urges all consumers to cooperate with the discourse in this exercise. This is very important, and it is in the interest of consumers as it will improve metering and help discourse to respond to electricity issues quickly. Signed, Management.
The presidential media team invites the public to the book presentation titled Nigeria on Firmer Ground Towards Lasting Peace and Progress, a compendium of achievements under the Buhari administration. Date, Friday, February 8, 2019. Venue, State House Conference Center, Abuja. Time, 4 p.m. prompt. Special guest of honor, Muhammadu Buhari, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chairman of the occasion, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, National Leader, APC, Book Reviewer, Chief Olusegun Oshoba, Book Presenter, Senator Ken Inamani. For further details, please call the following numbers. Femi Adeshino, 0805-500-1928. Garba Shehu, 0803-408-0058. Laolu Akonde, 0805-941-3866. Organizing Committee, Announcer.
Inner strength, yeah, that comes from the hard knocks that life throws at us. And we Nigerians, we know all about that. You don't stay down, you get up and fight. Sure, it's about speed, technique, quality of the punches, reach. But the real fight is with myself.
It's the power, but it's the speed as well.
But I can't carry this heavyweight title by myself. There's always got to be someone in my corner. And that's why I believe in Glow. We have that same tenacity, that Nigerian fighting spirit that makes us game changers. You have to dig deep to be a world champion. But yeah, we Nigerians, yeah, we know all about that.
What a fight!
Glow, our halo.
Heavyweight champion of the world!
All TVs say picture quality, but never mention the most important color, black. It uncovers the hidden details of nature, brings out the richness in all colors, and reveals life. With self-lighting pixels, only OLED TVs make perfect black, and perfect black creates perfect color. LG OLED TV.
Can your milk do this?
Can your milk do this? Mine can.
With Hollandia evaporated milk, your ice cream, custards, and variations of beverages taste pleasantly different. Hollandia evaporated milk. Life tastes different.
From the House of Chi. When I was a little girl, I loved spending time with Mum and Grandma cleaning the house. I was so excited to sing in the choir. And your shirts are always so white. I knew what Mum's secret was. Today, I'm a modern woman that still trusts the secrets passed down to me. It's Jik, of course. The original trusted bleach, which can be used all around your house for amazing results. Shh, it's our little secret. It's no secret. It's Jik's best.
Manager people, make we make the right choice, yo. Make we vote for a man of integrity. So, make we gather together and make this change. Work my people of Nigeria. Together we go carry Nigeria to the next level. Nigeria don't decide. Vote Baba Buhari. Baba Buhari, a man of integrity. Vote Baba Buhari. And we no corrupt, we no go chop our money. Agriculture, the next level. Fight corruption, the next level. Good roads, to the next level. Electricity. The next level, with the next level, empower the next level, money. For good health we go, my people, for the next level. APC, next level. Naija people, make we all come out to vote Baba Buhari.
This message is from Buhari Next Level Group.
Thank you for remaining with us. In less than 24 hours, new national executives to lead the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, for another term of 4 years are expected to emerge. In order to make the outcome of its forthcoming election acceptable to all members, the NLC at the 12th Delegates Conference was advised to comply with the Constitution of the Congress. Emmanuel Ayimiro has the report.
Over 700 delegates from 43 affiliate unions of the Nigerian Labour Congress are expected to participate in the election scheduled for February the 6th. In the last 4 decades, the movement has produced 6 presidents. The Congress is using the occasion of the two-day conference to promote activism for labor unity, national rebirth, and development.
In defending and promoting the cause of Nigerian workers, our focus is to build workers' power through organizing.
We urge you to ensure the conduct of free, fair, and transparent elections.
We'll have more reports after this timeout. Stay with the NTA.
2019 general elections and perceived undue external interest. That's the focus on NTA Tuesday Live. The program promises to be incisive and educative. Don't miss it.
Getting around heartburn and indigestion can be tricky if you eat too much. Eat food that is too spicy or greasy, or lie down after eating. Heartburn and indigestion could always be around the corner. When they come, be prepared with Gaviscon Double Action. It works within 3 minutes and lasts up to 8 hours. Gaviscon Double Action. Many causes, one solution.
Here you go.
Madam.
That's it. Those nails are enough.
Hi, dear. Helen! You got so much even after spending so little.
Savings is such a necessity.
You save everywhere. But here, you lose it all.
How?
With this?
Impossible.
New Tika Apic 10X. Even after applying up to 1 liter of your solution multiple times, you won't get the same cleaning that Apic gives you in a single round.
And the expense?
Far less compared to your 1 liter of solution. New Tika Apic. Toughen cleaning, toughen savings.
With gratitude to God for a life well spent, we announce the passing on to glory of our husband, father, grandfather, and uncle, Dr. Istefanus Muhammadu Manga, on the 25th of January 2019. Burial arrangement are as follows. Funeral service at Iglesia Yangwan Nigeria, EYN Church, Utako, number 1 Teslim Elias Street, Utako, Abuja, on the 6th of February, and departs on the 7th of February for Dr. Istefanus Manga's residence, Multafu, Askira Uba Local Government Area, Borno State, for final interment at 3:30 p.m. Prayers for the family will hold on 10th of February at Dr. Istefanus Manga's residence, number 8, Calabar Road, Old GRA, Maiduguri, Borno State. Time 6 a.m. Before his death, he served as Executive Secretary, Hospital Management Board, Borno, from 1979 to 1981. He also served as Board Chairman, University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, from 1986 to 1994. He is survived by his wife, children, and grandchildren. We love you, but God loves you more. Geshao Istefanus Manga, for the family.
That concludes the news tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm Muhammad Kuda Abubakar. Good night.